Good evening, everyone. My name is Carla Cabrera Carrera. I am the Deputy District Manager here at Bronx Community Board 7. You are here to attend our April 2023 General Board meeting. On April 20th, Mayor Adams issued Executive Order 387, extending the state of emergency through April 21st, according through May 20th. Apologies. According to the Video Conferencing Law, Chapter 56 of the Laws of 2022, Part 2022, this allows the Community Board to continue to host our public meetings remotely. We send meeting reminders via email and we post them on our social media sites. The meeting minutes will appear on our website and recordings on YouTube. Please remain muted when you're not speaking. If you're calling in from your cell phone or landline, listen to the following controls for joining. To hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6 to mute or unmute yourself, and *9 to virtually raise your hands. We have a code of conduct and it reads as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove and or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban. The amount of time to be objectively determined by the above committees of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-person outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities shall be summoned. I will now begin our public hearing, public session. This is an opportunity for the public to comment on any motions that we have on the floor or to make announcements. I'll start by calling our elected officials. We have Alina Dow from the mayor's office. Alina, you're still with us? *6.
I'm just talking myself away, and I've never really done it, and it's like *6. If you wouldn't have pressed *6, I would have been just chopping my mouth away. I was saying good evening, everyone. I do apologize that you guys had to experience that nuisance, but when everyone is doing something good, you always know there's someone out there that wants to do bad. I was just chiming in, on behalf of the mayor's office, checking in with everyone, letting you know again about our need to get businesses on board to engage our children for the summer youth. That program to get employers is ending in May 26th. We're asking all of our community members, if they know business owners, that they can join, please. We also have, I'm sure everyone's aware of the Rat Academy. Our rat star. If there's areas in the community that you know that are plagued, please flag that for me. I also want everyone to be aware that we have a new neighborhood safe. What is it? It's NST. Don't get me. Right now, my mind was blown away by this thing that you guys had. But I sent it out to all of the district managers to ask the community to complete our neighborhood areas where we're trying to flag safety areas or quality of life issues that we know are a big nuisance in all of the communities, and ask that you guys help us to identify those areas, and we're going to work to see if we can get them addressed. As always, we ask that you all continue to sign up to the mayor's podcast and newsletter and find out more information directly from the mayor himself. I am always available. I do apologize because I called in because of what happened. But if you can, please, if you share my information in the chat, anyone can please feel free to contact me. Thank you guys and have a good evening.
Thank you, Alina. And I see we have, it's Councilmember Purina Sanchez.
So this is Adrian from her office, but she actually is in the waiting room, I believe.
Yeah, so I let her in. She may be getting audio. So we'll go ahead to Councilmember Eric Dunowitz in the meantime.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone here at CB7's doing well. Just a few things. It is budget season, super busy. So my colleagues and I in the city budget are, trying to negotiate for the best budget we can. Obviously in the mayor's budget, preliminary budget, he cut everything. He had the pegs at 3% and 4%. So we had a response in the city council, which, pushed back against that. As many of you know, I chair the higher education committee, so I was especially eager to push back against cuts to CUNY and actually add funding to CUNY for important things like counselors, for paid internships, tutoring for our K-12 students, but also we're working with our discretionary budget. And that's the money that council members have discretion over to fund things like community cleanups, mental health organizations, and community centers like MMCC and the Jerome Gun Hill bid. We are trying to work with SDA to figure out what it's going to actually cost to fix the pool at Clinton. I know that's something my students, when I was a teacher, loved to go swimming at the Walton campus. We're facing a shortage of lifeguards in New York City and the Parks Department. And at the last Parks hearing, I said to them, wouldn't it be great if our pools worked? I'm gonna be bringing that up tomorrow to them at the Parks hearing. But as it relates to budget, I'll certainly be, figuring out how much that costs. We fund programs I know many people in CB7 use, like Citizenship Now. And we've gotten a lot of incoming emails about Grow NYC. They run the market on DeKalb and Gun Hill. So we're funding them as well. This Saturday, I was at a wonderful event for Earth Day by the Friends of Marshall Parkland. I'm on my terrace right now, and I got some seeds from that event, so I look forward to planting those as well. You may know that, I'm sure you know, they're doing the bus redesign on Gun Hill, which should make the bus traffic a lot smoother and get people to where they need to go a little faster. So some people reached out about the select bus service machines on Webster. So I went by, I saw that it is really hard to pass by. I know I spoke to some of you about it. I reached out to the MTA to see what could be done about moving the machines. If anything happens, certainly I will keep you all updated. And coming up with Assemblymember Zaccaro, we have a shredding event at Tracy Towers. I also want to let you know two more things. One is, if anyone here lives in a Mitchell-Lama, I've introduced legislation to make it easier for older adults to automatically get their SCREE applications instead of having to figure it out and know how to do rent freeze. My legislation would streamline that process and sort of automate it so they can automatically get their rent freeze, which is particularly important for folks, at Tracy Towers, for instance, who are facing rent increases. This will help a lot of older adults. And lastly, we have renovations going on at my district office, but I have staff at the Mashalu Library on the first Monday of the month. And last but not least, I want to introduce you all to Julio Gutierrez, new to my staff, but not new to the Bronx resident. He's a Steve's Community Board Pro. So Julio Gutierrez just turned his camera on and is waving at all of you. So many of you reaching out to our office may be in touch with him. He just started yesterday. So we can all give Julio a warm welcome, and I'm sure you'll all be getting to know him very well.
Thank you, thank you.
So could I?
Thank you, council member, and welcome Julio Gutierrez. And go ahead, Betty.
I just have Eric, thank you for going to the bus stop on Webster, because that is a concern. I don't know if we need to move everything, because eventually when the construction is completed in that building, I don't think there's a need to move the machines over. If anything, what I'd like to see done is that outdoor shed from that restaurant. They have two sheds, one on 204th Street and one on Webster, and neither are used to the fullest capacity. I don't know that anything that can be done to address that and have one of them removed. I don't understand why a restaurant is allowed to have two outdoor sheds when they don't need it. During the pandemic, it's one thing, but we're no longer in a pandemic. So if there's anything that can be done, that would definitely help and move and provide more space on that sidewalk.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, locally, as it, and as it turns out, just I hear what you're saying about the machines and the construction and the restaurant, but the machines are in a place whereby the sidewalk's not ADA compliant. It doesn't meet the 5 feet standard. So even regardless of the construction and regardless of the shed, because it's a sidewalk, then there's a tree pit, and then there's the shed, even without the dining. But the city council is, and it has been a long time, but we're really trying to get this right, is looking at legislation to really, codify the rules about outdoor dining. And that includes the sheds and what it looks like that, have to be removable. One of the things that's really important to me is community board review, and to make sure that, if a business wants to do it, and, they get 45 days so that the community board has that time, just look at it and say, look, is this the right thing for our neighborhood? And I think we're sort of where it is now. I think we're sort of doing away with the shed thing. It's supposed to be just like, setting up tables outdoors, enjoying time with your friends outdoors when it's nice weather, and they'll be seasonal. But again, without the outdoor dining, I understand it's a concern, but that doesn't relate to the path to walk, just because
Okay.
it doesn't extend that far. There's dirt in between.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you, council member, and thanks, Betty, for your question. Armando, I'm gonna hold off from your question. If it's something pressing, you can email me and I'll relay it to the council member's office. All right, next we have
Thank you, everyone.
council member Pierina Sanchez. Right, we may be having some issues unmuting ourselves. We'll move on to the New York City Public Advocate's Office, the New York City Controller's Office, Bronx Borough President's Office. Kenny, are you still with us?
Yes, I am. Hello. On behalf of Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, she had held a recent iftar, breaking of the fast. She wished everyone a happy Ramadan, a solemn Ramadan and Eid Mubarak. She's been working diligently towards getting the birthing center set up. We have a large infant mortality rate here in the Bronx. We're also working with the situations with our fires. We lost 2 major supermarkets in the area, and we've been working diligently with council members Felice and Sanchez to try to make sure that we could get the businesses together with SBS and other services. We've been working very hard with our NYCHA. We'll be holding a leadership conference tomorrow at the Rotunda for New York City Housing Authority presidents and their boards. We've been working at the community board level. We've been interviewing, vetting over 560 applicants for reappointment and appointment. It's been very diligent work and very we've been indefatigable in trying to make sure that we get good solid board members and return those good solid board members on board. And we're getting geared up for Bronx Week, and we'll be working very hard with that as well. But again, yeoman's job to the members of Community Board 7, and regardless of these terrible incidences, we will go on. So thank you very much.
Kenny, you have a question by Jake Wilson.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Kenny. I am a resident leader for Bailey Houses, and I didn't get an email about this here forum that she's supposed to have, Vanessa Gibson.
Okay, let me. You have a pen and paper handy?
Can you put it in the chat?
I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah, Kenny, if you're unable to do it, I can send, you can shoot me an email and I'll forward that email to Jake Wilson.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best to put it on right there now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
No, I think we are good. Thank you, Kenny.
Okay, I will see you soon.
Anyone here from the Bronx District Attorney's Office? The 52nd precinct? Edge?
Hey Carla, how are you? Thank you for having me tonight. Just want to go over the 28-day period for the 7 majors. We have 182 index crimes compared to 168 last year, so that's an 8.3% increase. The biggest increases are going to be in felony assault. Last year was 46, this year to 50. Increase in grand larcenies last year from 47 to 54. An increase in grand larceny last year from 24 to 25. Just 2 announcements I do want to make. Our fire disaster relief will be coming to an end this Wednesday. Just want to thank everyone who's already donated stuff to the precinct. We're looking forward to giving those things to the families of the fire. So thank you very much. Second, we also have our council meeting this Thursday. It's going to be in person at 300 Webster Avenue at 7 p.m. I'll put both of those things in the chat. If you have any questions for me, I'll be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Echeverria. And just as a follow-up, our office will be the office to distribute all the items that have been collected by the 52nd precinct.
Yes, thank
Jake,
you,
Jake, do you have a question or is that your hand from before?
I think that's my hand from before.
Okay.
I don't know how
Never
to take
mind.
it down.
Yes, no, I'll do it for you. It's okay. Next, we have the State Senator Gustavo Rivera.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's so nice to see familiar faces. I'm going to start off with a couple of updates. We want to promote as much as we can the Kingsbridge Armory Community Survey. It will be closed the end of the month. So if you haven't already, I please urge you to voice what you would like to the armory to have. I know that the chat is disabled at this time, but I'll make sure to send some of the flyers that we have for the Kingsbridge Armory to Carla. I also do want to promote our satellite office hours. Tomorrow I'll be at RSS from 11 a.m. up until 4:30 p.m. for any folks who live in Riverdale. We have them usually the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of every month. We also have satellite hours at the East Bronx and Bronx House Inc. every 2nd and 3rd Thursday of the month. I wanted to heavily promote the IDNYC mobile van that we'll be having on May 6th. So it's about a week and a half now that we'll be having. Appointments are encouraged, but walk-ins are accepted as well. I'll share the flyer with Carla as well, so that you, if you know anyone that might be interested, can walk them. We can walk them through what documents they need to apply. The initial applications will be done, renewals as well. Replacement cards will not be done in this site. Okay, so it will be right in front of our office. Okay. I don't think I have any other updates from our office. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact me directly or contact me through Carla. Our office phone number is 718-933-2034. Okay, you don't have to write it down. You can contact me. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sadi. Next, we have State Senator Robert Jackson. Oh, and I have a hand up. I cannot see the full name.
Councilwoman is on.
All right. Oh, Councilmember Purina Sanchez, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see all of you. I'm gonna have a Venn diagram with some of the updates that you have all heard. But thank you to Councilmember to Senator Rivera's team for highlighting the Kingsbridge Armory survey. If you can please help us to disseminate that. We are approaching the last planned month of the Kingsbridge Armory engagements. We've had EDC and the working group team, which the community board is on, we've reached nearly 2,000, almost 3,000 people with the engagements that we've had. The last one at Lehman College, we had over 500 people join us that Saturday. And so this month, we're just trying to, ears are completely open, right? This asset has been functionally vacant for 30 years. It is such an opportunity. I think many of you who are on the land use committee heard a preliminary presentation of the summary of findings so far of what we've been hearing from the community, which is really exciting to see that, manufacturing, the kind of ideas that folks are really putting out there and where it's coalescing. And so during this last month, we want to just make sure that if there is any subset of the community that we didn't really reach, that isn't represented in the outreach we've done, we want to make sure to do that. So we're going to be having a town hall with one of our local mosques. We're going to be having a residents only engagement it's either going to be, well, we're in the end of April, so it'll be in early May. And we just want to make sure that we start the process of, the request for proposal, the ULERT process, all of that. We want to make sure that we start that strong with the basis in what the community wants to see. Today, I had a hearing in the New York City Council. I held a hearing on the city's lead laws. You may not think about lead every day, but the reality is that lead hazards are all around us. The New York City has not. We banned the sale of lead-based paint in 1960. In 1978, the federal government banned it. And even still, we passed very, very strong laws in 1982, and then in 2004, local law 1 of 2004, all meant to make sure that we're remediating lead hazards in our homes, so that kids are not being poisoned, because when you're poisoned by lead, it's irreparable damage. It's learning disabilities, it's cognitive dysfunction, things like that. And it's really a travesty. And some of the things that we uncovered at the hearing today, which, for me, just redoubles the commitment to work on this, to drive lead poisoning to zero, is 3 things. One, the 80% of cases of child lead poisoning cases today, 80% are among Black, Latino, and Asian children. The vast majority are, of course, low-income children of color. And here's one for us, 45% of cases of lead-based poisoning are in the Bronx, right? We are not 45% of New York City's population, right? But we know what is happening here. We know the disparities that we face. And so, it was just a very important hearing, and we're gonna be considering legislation and continuing to work on that to try to drive that down to zero. I'm going to be having a hearing on homeownership next week on May 3rd. I don't know if that's next week or the week after, what is time? But it's another really important topic, and we want to make sure that, especially in the Bronx, but across the city, we're protecting homeownership, expanding homeownership, and it's a topic that doesn't get a lot of attention historically in the city council. I think Councilmember Dinowitz mentioned that we are in the midst of budget season. Executive budget hearings are going to be starting next week, but please, continue to make known to us, your representatives, what your priorities are for the New York City budget, so that we can have those be represented. And just two other notes that I think are just really important in terms of things happening in the community. So one, where we have the Fordham Busway proposal that is before the city has proposed a busway proposal that would make pretty drastic changes on Fordham Road. And so my position is certainly that we need to do we need to make interventions happen on Fordham Road to speed up our buses, because when you hit Webster Avenue and all the way until about Morris, or probably actually University Avenue, you're just kind of crawling, right? So we have to figure out what to do there. And so just welcoming feedback on the Fordham busway proposal from the community as we move forward in those discussions with the administration. And then street vending. So we've had, we have two sides of the coin in terms of the city's approach to street vending happening in our community. So on the one hand, on Fordham Road, the city has been working with the street vendor project to do outreach with the street vendors and trying to, bring education and, try to help them understand what the regulations are, where to stand, where not to stand, how to be harmonious with the shoppers on Fordham Road and the stores and everything else. And it's, something that we've heard a lot of concern about in the community. And then on the other hand, in Kingsbridge last week, if folks saw, we had a sweep of street vendors by the Department of Sanitation. So it's something that I'm extremely concerned about. I understand that the challenges that folks have, I live here, I walk by the Armory almost every day. And I understand the challenges that presents in terms of just the pedestrian experience. But I think it's really important for us to be pushing for an approach to the street vendors that centers education and centers opportunity. And the reality is that most folks can't access a permit. And what that means when you can't access a permit, it means you can't access education, you can't access the wherewithal, the right way to do things. And so there's a fundamental problem with the way that New York City regulates street vending. And it's something I'm really paying a lot of attention to, and hope to, work with the administration in the upcoming months, to foreshadow a bit in terms of legislation that we can look at to really continue reforms that started a few years ago, but didn't go far enough to support our street vendors. So with that, thank you. Well, I have one more thing because I'm proud of it. We had a hiring hall with DC 37 at Monroe College on Saturday. We had 800 people show up to the hiring hall, which is really great. There's really, really astronomical vacancy rates in New York City agencies. DOB has upwards of 25% vacancy rate. HPD has vacancy rates that are through the roof, 18-19% for inspectors. These are jobs you can kind of come in off the street and you'll be trained, and there will be resources for you to have. So I'm just, very excited at how well that went, and want to encourage you folks or anybody that if you know folks that are interested in a career in city government and government service, send them our way. We need to fill those jobs, and what better way to fill them than with folks from our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Sanchez. Sirio, do you mind holding on to your question
The
until
question
you
is
speak?
for the councilwoman.
All right, go ahead.
The housing, you having helping people how to buy a house is remarkable, but the sad fact is because of all the developers taking over Bedford Park and Norwood, the average citizen will never ever be able to afford a house again in the Bronx. Thank God Almighty, my wife was able to twist my arm to get a house 20 years ago, because the prices today are literally ridiculous. And everybody knows that they can get a bigger price if they hold out for some developer who will put up a massive, massive building where people will be stacked up on one on top of the other. And I'm sorry to say that's the fact of the Bronx.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Heather is a very, very smart woman. So you should thank her for making you buy that house. And yeah, this is a big challenge. There have been programs, when, for example, our attorney general has won lawsuits that bring millions and millions of dollars to the city of New York. Some of those funds have been used for the city to purchase properties and then sell them as affordable homes, home ownership opportunities for communities like ours, right? So that's part of what we're going to be looking at this hearing. This is not something that's at scale at this time, but there's actually a lot of efforts believe it or not, Wells Fargo who does not have a great track record. Wells Fargo is funding something called the Black Homeownership Project, which has as its intention creating opportunities for homeowners of color to purchase properties in the city of New York specifically. So they've put in a lot of money to do down payment assistance and all of these things, make buyers competitive, make human being buyers, not corporate buyers, competitive for these homes. And so we're going to be taking a deep dive into all of these. But it's also New York City, right? So homeownership is not just a home that is one apartment or two apartments. Homeownership can be a co-op. Homeownership can be a condo. Homeownership can take different forms. And so we're going to be taking a look at all of these things. And, for us, District 14 has a homeownership rate of 6% compared to the city's 30%, right? So it's extremely low. And so we want to just have this conversation, continue this conversation and try to promote homeownership opportunities wherever possible, because we all know that's one of the major ways in this country that you build intergenerational wealth.
Thank you, Councilmember Sanchez. So we'll move on. I just wanted to do a time check-in. It's 7:36. So I will be timing everyone from now on. You will have about 2 minutes to speak. Next, we have State Senator Robert Jackson.
Can everyone hear me? Hello?
You sound that you're muffled a little bit.
I'm having trouble with my microphone. I'm very sorry.
I know that feeling. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Do we have anyone here from Assembly Member George Alvarez's office? Anyone here from Assembly Member Jeffrey Dinowitz's office? And next we have Assembly Member John Sakaro's office.
Yes, hi. My name is Ana Sacerdote. I'm the new constituent liaison for Member John Sakaro. I just wanted to let everybody know of 2 events that are coming up. I also added my personal information before the chat was disabled on the chat. So if anybody wants to reach me, it's there. So Friday, May 5th at 3 p.m., we're going to have the Assembly member will be hosting an autism awareness webinar for everybody that needs it. You will hear and learn about early advocacy and types of support available to the community. So that will be May 5th at 3 p.m. And then on Sunday, we are co-hosting with Dinowitz, the shredding event at Tracy Towers from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. At Building 40. And yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, my information's on the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Welcome to CV7. Donella Smith.
Hi, good evening. My name is Donella Smith. I will be taking over CV7 from Frederick Klein from the office of Assemblyman Jeffrey Dinowitz. The assembly member couldn't be here tonight. He's very busy with budget in Albany. Just a few announcements. On Sunday, May 7th, our office will be hosting a shred event on West 235th and Johnson Avenue. We would also be hosting another one on June 11th in front of our office at 3107 Kingsbridge Avenue.
Thank you so much. I will be adding my email address in the chat shortly, so so you can all send me as many flyers as you would like.
Okay,
next we have Assembly Member Yudel Catapia. Council Member Oswald Feliz.
Hello, everyone. Save me for last, I guess, Carla. Um, so Councilmember Felice is also having a job fair tomorrow, April 26th, from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Severn Gardens. The building is Severn Hall, Building D, and the address is 2848 Bainbridge Avenue. It's hosted with Verse and Councilmember Felice. Also, Councilmember is also introduced two legislation bills, 987 intro and also 988 about the fake license plates. If you know about fake license plates, like in Texas, New Jersey, people are like also committing crimes with fake license plates and also selling fake license plates. So if you're selling a fake license plate, you could get fined high, so you won't have to buy one anymore. And this would take these ghost cars off the street. Um, if you need any more information on the legislation, you could also email our legal les director and deputy chief of staff, Guillermo Rodriguez, and that would be G Rodriguez at council.nyc.gov. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Moving on, we have the Department of Environmental Protection.
Hi, good evening. I entered some important information in the chat, which I've mentioned before in previous meetings. DP has its water bill amnesty program. It ends April 30th. That's in 5 days. It's for property owners that have delinquent water bill accounts, and it's for all tax brackets, which means whether you own a building, a 1, 2, 3 family home, or a commercial property. In addition to DP's amnesty program, the state is offering their low-income water assistance program, and that offers up to $5,000 of assistance to property owners with their delinquent water bills. You can get all this information at www.nyc.gov or at 718-595-7000. Again, it's in the chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Effie. Yahira, you have a question?
Yeah, sorry, it's going back to George. Quick question. What type of job fair is it? Is it the same as Councilmember Sanchez?
I believe it's kind of the same job fair.
Thank you, George. Can you share your flyer with us if you don't mind?
I'm actually disabled from the chat.
Yeah, he will send the information to me, Yahira, and you can check up our Instagram page. We will be reposting the flyer.
Thank you, Carla.
Next, we have Sirio Guerino.
All right, folks. Okay, I want to say thank everybody for watching Channel 2 News. And I would love to say that I have been moving quickly and especially with MPC being their graffiti remover and ambassador along the business strips. So we are going to be moving ahead with some new and improved things going on. And I want to thank the NYPD because they'll be meeting in person on this Thursday right there across the street. If you can cross that street with all those objects in the way, to be at the building there on 204th and Webster, the Dole Found building. And also, now that I go up and down the strip all day long and every morning at 3 a.m. and everything, George Alvarez will be having an open house on Sunday. And those in the Bedford Park community area, yes, he did move out of that white elephant there on Fordham Road. And now you can get in without a passport to see your assemblyman. And I want to thank everybody. God bless you all the people that work so hard right here. That's always on these Zooms. And I want to thank everybody for putting your 2 and 3 and 4 cents into everything. God bless you.
Thank you, Sirio. Next, we have Armando AJ Ramos.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we
I
can
want to
hear you.
speak, sorry, I want to speak about both motions from the public hearing, please. Can I start?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. As someone who has sent in numerous complaints and over 30 unanswered Freedom of Information requests about the prior administration and their ways, Ms. Carla is exactly what the board needed. I have full confidence in her leadership and wish her the best in reforming the board in its ways. And then on the second part, my request and presentation was about putting pride flags on the Bronx Victory Memorial. Please don't pervert that and at least vote on that location so I could potentially Article 78, the board's decision, and show you how to properly serve the public you voluntarily chose to commit to. As a private citizen, I am not here to beg for scraps or to violate the city charter like certain members of the board and related 501(c)(3)s and groups, such as Friends of Marshallou, Friends of DeVoe, and the Bronx Buccaneers regularly do at these meetings. By denying this request at the Bronx Victory Memorial, due to it not being military or veterans related, whilst my slides and presentations talk about them and the discrimination they face serving our country, it shows your own implicit biases, reeks of homophobia, and yet again denies the public the right to free speech in our publicly funded spaces and parks, putting your own personal beliefs before ours, the ones you serve. Hence, the court's potentially stepping in to finally put CB7 in its place, ending all the self-dealing, quid pro quos, city charter and bylaw violations, and all the other problematic activities and behaviors exposed and displayed by the board in these meetings, emails, and consequential follow-ups. If not at the Bronx Victory Memorial or at the 52nd Police Station, please keep the pandering gesture to the LGBTQIA+ community to yourself or at a minimum, and simply vote no. The blood is on your hands. Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. Just as a follow-up, this conversation could have been had at the committee level. So when the motion was being edited, you could have voiced these concerns. Once it moves out of the committee, getting feedback like this is hard. So I can definitely follow up to see about next steps. But as when the motion was being presented on the floor and being spoken about at the committee level, you agreed to accept the motion as it was presented until.
Yes, ma'am, but there's still no location selected. We're gonna have to come back and vote again for a location. So please don't forget, we want it here. We don't want it somewhere else. The motion as it stands written does not have a location, potentially delaying this till past Pride. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you for your comment. And Madam Chairperson, this concludes our public hearing session.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient and going through the elected officials. So we're going to move on to the order of tonight's general board meeting. Okay, so we're going to move on to the district manager's update. Carla?
Thank you, Yahira. So one moment as I. Oh. Right. So thank you, Yahira. So our district coordinator, Jay Guzman, is embarking on a new professional venture. Her last day at the community board is Friday, May 5th at 5 p.m. During her time with the community board, Jade spearheaded and managed the following community board operations and processes. She handled the state liquor authority process, the taxi and limousine commission process, the board's communication efforts by sending out bi-weekly/monthly newsletters, and she graphic designed flyers and business cards for us. She also performed other tasks related to the board's day-to-day operations. And additionally, Jade Guzman served as the liaison between committee chairs and city agencies for the following committees: traffic and transportation, housing, land use and economic development, public safety and quality of life, and the Education, Youth, and Libraries Committee. Personally, it has been a pleasant experience supervising and working with Jade Guzman. The work Jade Guzman has done for Bronx Community Board 7 is invaluable, and I will miss her, her skill sets, work ethics, and reliability. I wish you all the best. And next, I wanted to take some time to thank board members Lowell Green and Barbara Strongser for tabling at the Williamsbridge Oval Recreation Center's Prig Egg Hunt event. The event was attended by over 1,000 community members, and the staff was also in attendance. I wanted to give you all an update on the New York Yankees award. I was on vacation for a week, and so I'm still going through all my emails just to make sure that I count everyone who has applied. But so far I have looked at 6 applications. One of them was disqualified because they do not live in the district. So we have 5 viable applicants. And if I find any more applicants, the education committee will meet to vote on the 5 candidates that will get the award. We have some upcoming community board events that are spearheaded by the Veterans Affairs Committee. On Saturday, May 13th, there is a flagging event at Bronx Victory Memorial at 11 a.m. And I will share a link to these updates in the chat so you have all the information. On Wednesday, May 24th, we will be having a flagging event at Woodlawn Cemetery at 10 a.m. And to get in contact with the office, you may do so by email or a phone number. I will add this information in the chat as well. And just as an FYI, we send out bi-weekly, sometimes monthly newsletters. Please do open them up. We include all the flyers that are pertaining to District 7 in it, and it has all other information on resources, events, and other items. On Sunday, May 21st, we will be participating in the Bronx Week Parade and Festival. It has moved out of the district. It's happening at East 170th Street and the Grand Concourse. And just like Council Member Pierina Sanchez said, and the office of Senator Gustavo Rivera, you can give your input via a survey regarding the Kingsbridge Armory, and this information will also be in the chat. And that concludes my updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Jean, you have your hand up?
Yeah, just quickly, we're happy for Jade, but we also need to know, are we in the process of hiring another secretary for the office?
This is became news to us, so we're going to be dealing with that process in the next week or so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carla. Hugo?
Hi, any updates on the websites, any changes to the websites or anything planned? I know that certain community boards have brand new websites and they seem a lot more responsive, a lot more accessible, and presumably easier to input and update information on.
The last I know, the VP office is going community board by community board. Carla, I don't know if they've reached out to you yet, because that was one of the things that was discussed at the borough-wide meeting.
So they have not reached out to me yet, but I will start making those updates, small steps by small steps. I do know there is some minutes that are missing on our website, and I will definitely work on uploading those things. Just so you know, I don't upload things directly. I send those files to OTI for them to be uploaded.
Okay, we used to have a committee, the Public Relations Committee, which before that was the WAM, I think it was Website and Media Committee, which I guess would address those type of questions. But since we no longer have that committee active, can we get regular updates at the general board meetings also for the general membership about the website, since that is the public face of the board?
As to that, we
Yes.
will, can you send us that information? Because what ended up happening, the city took over a lot of the administration of websites because it wanted major control. Now what they're trying to do is they're trying to give some power back to the community board so that the staff can upload and do things in a better system. They're changing their system. And as we all know, it takes a little bit of time. So anything related to that, send it over to Carla, who gets all the information directly from the BP's office, and we'll be able to give you that information. Is that okay? I can.
Yeah, can we just get updates with that type of information also?
Well, everything that comes from the borough presidents, the borough-wide meetings, I do talk about it, and that was one of the things that were happening. So as soon as we're going to have a new board meeting this week, so I'm guessing that that's going to be a topic of conversation. So we can always refer back with some feedback as to what we get from the BP's office.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, moving on to chairperson's remarks. So a couple of things. Everybody should have gotten an email from the Civic Engagement Commission. These are trainings that happen, and they sent out for to board members. It includes things like motions and amendment for board members, efficiency in board for chair, secretary, and parliamentarians, committee functions, rules, and all board members. If you didn't get an email with these dates for this training, it's all on Zoom, and it's in the evenings. We can send out another list of the next trainings, which will be April 27th, May 16th, and May 31st. They're doing this constantly so that board members can get an idea of what procedures are on the board. Okay. Chad, you have a question? Chad?
I'm withdrawing my hand.
Okay. Toby?
I want to let you know that I have not received any information regarding training. I've been told about it, but I have yet to receive an email. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll make a note of it and have them.
I sent an email just this evening. With that information and the bylaws as well. If you did not receive that email, please do let me know. You can text me or email me.
Okay, on the topic of bylaws, like Carla just said, everyone should receive an email with the old bylaws and the new revised ones. If you need a hard copy, please let us know and we will have a copy made for you and sent to you, or if we can arrange a pickup if you need. So just let us know once you see them, once you receive the email. Just review them and let us know of any changes, any comments and things like that. And we will circle back at the next executive board should anyone have any topics to talk about from the bylaws. Okay, next thing, the nomination committee has been established for the upcoming elections in June. That committee is comprised of the following board members: Myrna Calderon, Helene Red, Eric Asensio, Sandra Erickson, and Tasha Andrews. They will be the committee in charge of the handling of the nominations, making sure everyone is vetted and that the process is done accordingly, like we've always done. Okay, next thing. Sorry, I have a whole list of things here. The Yankee Scholarship, the deadline is coming up. If anyone has any student that in the district that would like to apply, please do so. It's always good to do this and it helps out our young youth in our community. Okay, that ends my report. To Jade, thank you for your service at CB7. I mean, I can't say enough how helpful you've been with all of us, and we will miss you, definitely. Okay. Anybody else? Toby, you have your hand up?
I'm going to take it down.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions before I move on? Okay. Next, Chad, your hand is up again.
Just want to tell Jade, thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Ruth is not with us tonight, so Samantha Suvatis has volunteered to help us out to do the attendance roll call. Samantha?
Okay, can you give me sharing access?
Yes, it's done.
Appreciate it. Okay, good evening, everybody. All right, Leorisa Costa. Leorisa Costa. Tasha Andrews. Tasha Andrews. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Okay, Betty Arce.
Betty Arce present.
Jahaira Arias.
Jahaira Arias present.
Emanuela Samoa.
Emanuela Samoa present.
Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio present.
Michelle Avila.
Michelle Avila present.
Toby Buford.
Toby Buford present.
Mirna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon is present.
Ruth Caraballo. Manjur Chaudhry. Manjur Chaudhry. Sandra Erickson is absent. Nora Fury is on leave. Hugo Gonzalez. Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez present.
Thank you. Alfred Grant.
Alfred Grant here, present.
Thank you. Lowell Green.
Lowell Green is present.
Helene Hartman Kanowski.
Helene Hartman Kutnowski is present.
Thank you. Jean Hill.
Jean Hill is present.
Thank you. Mabor Jewel. Mabor Jewel. Andrew Leosa. Andrew Leosa.
Andrew Laos is present.
Thanks. Rosalie Rosalie Leslie, sorry.
Rosalie Leslie present.
Thank you. Jenny Medina. Jenny Medina. Taina Peña. Taina Peña. Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry present.
Thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos present.
Thank you. Helene Red is absent. Janelle Robinson.
Helene's trying to get in.
Who's trying to get in?
Helene Red's trying to get in.
Oh. I'll come back. Janelle Robinson. Janelle Robinson. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer is here.
Thank you. Victor Saldana.
Victor Saldana present.
Thank you. Maharani Subajan. Maharani Subajan. Carlos Sosa. Carlos Sosa. Samantha Suvatis is present. Barbara Stronzer.
Barbara Stronzer is present.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Adeline Walker Santiago. Adeline Walker Santiago. Helene Wilson.
Hello. Hello,
Yep.
Adeline Walker Santiago present.
Thank you. Helene Wilson. Helene Wilson. All right. I'll be, I guess, after when I stop sharing, I guess I'll mark everybody else absent. Thank you. Oh, Carlos Sosa's in the waiting room. David Green is in the waiting room. Helene Red, you coming in?
Can you let in Carlos Sosa as well?
I
can't.
did, yeah.
It's showing
I
that it's
got
showing
you.
0 in the waiting room for me.
I got it. I'm
Thank you,
admitting,
Samantha.
I'm admitting everybody in. Thank you all.
Okay. So for those who just joined us, we just did the roll call. So
Can you guys hear me?
yes, we hear you, Helene.
Thank
So,
you. I
Samantha,
just got out of, okay.
Samantha, would you like to call out those that were in the waiting room?
Yep, I
You
got
don't
it.
mind? Thank you.
Carlos Sosa?
Took me an hour, half an hour.
Carlos Sosa present.
Thank you. Helene read, I got already. That was it. I didn't know who Israel was, and there was somebody else that didn't look familiar at all.
Okay, thank you. Would you be able to tell us if we have quorum, please?
Israel's supposed to be from Bragg, I believe.
Ah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, be patient with me. It's my first time.
Yeah, we may have lost some members because of what happened earlier.
I know Gwen Steed was trying to get on earlier by phone and it kept
I'm
locking.
going on
her
my
out.
computer.
Lori,
on this phone.
Lori's was on. He was
Yeah.
on. Yeah. And
So-
I had seen Yenny Medina on earlier.
Yes.
Is that
She got knocked out, but I think Lori has class.
is
Yeah, and I got cut off.
Okay.
what is the protocol for that?
Well,
If
you
they-
can call, Helene Wilson is on, so you can call
I'm
her
going
name
on my,
again.
I'm going on my computer in here on this phone. It's grandson
can't-
Azar Jones or something, but please.
Okay, Helene, you can log off and come back in.
Hold on a minute. I counted about 22 present, but I need to do another count. And I don't, if that makes quorum, I don't know if you guys could help me with that.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you need 19 to have quorum, so you definitely have quorum.
All right.
Okay, we have 22 in attendance, so we do meet quorum. Okay. Okay, moving on. Okay, so
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Samantha. Appreciate it for you stepping in tonight. Review of previous month's minutes. I believe we do not have last month's minutes, so we will table that.
Was that marked present?
Excuse me?
Did you take attendance yet?
Yes, we did, Jake.
Okay, you marked me, okay.
Yes. So we're gonna move on to new business. And for our agenda, we will be moving into executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I move to go to executive session to view the agenda.
Do I have a
I
second?
second it.
Thank you.
I think we have to state why we're moving specifically.
It's new business and it's on our agenda. Okay, I want to thank everybody for waiting. I know it's been a long meeting and we still have a couple more things on our agenda. I do apologize, but everyone should be back in. We're going to give another few seconds or so to make sure that all of our members who were in the exec come back fully. If anyone has an issue, please let us know right away so that we can attend to it. Okay. So Jade, can you let me know when Gwendolyn is on?
Yes, I'll let you know. I will be staying on for till 9:10. But as of right now, the waiting room is still empty.
Okay. Jean, will give her another few seconds or so. Okay, just to be fair.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Toby, you have your hand up?
I was wondering if, and I don't know if this is in the rules, since Jean is on the call with Gwendolyn, if she can place her on speaker and she can say yes or no. Is
No,
that permitted?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately,
Okay,
she has to be shown in the screen.
okay.
at the moment. We're just gonna give her a few minutes. I mean, I apologize from the beginning. We had that really nasty incident and it's thrown things out of whack, unfortunately. And this is what happens with technology now, and especially something as important as today. It's very upsetting for me because, this is our general board. This is where we have a lot of things going on. So throwing us out of whack and out of our normal schedule makes it that much more difficult. And as you can see, the time, it's taken this time and now we're at 9 o'clock. So
And she
again,
cannot put it in the chat either if
no,
we open,
no.
okay.
It has to be, she has to be
Has
joined
to
in.
be verbally from her.
Verbally,
Okay.
and we have to show that she's actually on the call with us
Okay,
all
It's
together.
almost
Okay,
9:10,
I
so
got it.
I think we have to keep moving forward.
That's right. We will keep moving. Okay. So thank you all again for those are the public. We're back. All board members are back. We do have a motion on the floor. And the motion, Michelle, do you want to read out the motion and take it from there?
Sure. So the motion is to hire Carla Cabrera Carrera for the position of District Manager for Bronx Community Board 7 at a salary of $96,000.
Okay, do we have a second?
Myrna Calderon seconds the motion.
Thank you, Myrna. Samantha?
I'm here. I'm here.
We will go to a vote.
It's just as lawyer will tell you, Mr. Fuller has no previous criminal record.
I second the vote.
Yeah,
I
this is
don't-
the vote for the motion.
Yes, okay, so I'm gonna go through
Yes.
thank you. Okay, Leorisa Costa, not here. Okay, Tasha Andrews, not here. Betty RC, am I putting approve or abstain? How's it go?
You approve, yes,
Why is
no,
fine.
or abstain.
Okay, yes is yes for approve, no for abstain.
Or you could put approve, no,
Or
abstain.
Okay, Betty RC, do you approve or do you abstain?
Betty RC approves the motion.
Okay, Jahira, do you approve or abstain?
Arias approves the motion.
Emanuela Samoa, approve or abstain?
Approve.
Thank you. Eric Asensio, approve or abstain?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay, thank you. Michelle Avila, approve or abstain?
Michelle Avila approves.
Toby Buford, Toby, I'm gonna fix your name, okay?
Okay.
All right,
So-
do you approve or do you abstain?
Toby Buford, Toby Buford approves.
Okay. Mirna Calderon, approve or abstain?
Myrna Calderon approves.
Thanks. Ruth Caraballo, no. Manjur Choudhury, no. Sandra, no. Nora, no. Hugo Gonzalez, approve or abstain?
Hugo Gonzalez approves.
Thank you. Alfred Grant, approve or abstain?
Alfred Grant approves.
Okay. Am I even writing this right? Okay. Lowell Green, approve or abstain?
Lowell Green abstains.
Aline Cartman Kanowski, approve or abstain?
Aline Hartman Kutnowski approves.
Jean Hill, approve or abstain?
Jean Hill abstain.
Marbar Jewel, approve or?
Mabugudel approve. Approve. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Andrew Leosa, approve or abstain? Andrew? Andrew? Okay. Rosalie Leslie, approve or abstain?
Rosalie Leslie approves.
Okay. No Jenny Medina. No time. Daisy Perry, approve or abstain?
I abstain.
Okay. Edgar Ramos, approve or abstain?
Edgar Ramos approves.
Okay. Helene Red, approve or abstain? Helene Red? Helene Red, okay. Chad Royer?
Abstain. Helene
Helene-
Red abstain.
Got you. Thank you.
Can I
Janelle?
just, I'm sorry, I just want to mention that people also have, you can also deny. You know, it's three, you have three options: approve, abstain, or deny. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Janelle, Chad Royer, approve, abstain, or deny?
Chad Roy approves.
Victor Saldana, approve, abstain, or deny?
Victor Saldaña approves.
Maharani Suvajan, approve, abstain, or deny?
Maharani Sivajan approves.
Thank you. Carlos Sosa, approve, abstain, or deny?
Carlos Sosa approves.
Thank you. Samantha Suvatsis approves. Barbara Stronzer, approve,
Barbara Stronzer approves.
Thank you, Barbara. No Gwendolyn. Adeline Walker Santiago, approve, abstain, or deny? Adeline Walker?
Yes, I abstain, but I wanted to be noted because I felt we should have had two choices.
Okay. And Helene
Nothing
Wilson?
against the candidate, but I think we should have had two choices as a board to vote on. I abstain.
Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing.
It's just a precedent for the future, and I don't think it's right. Thank you.
Okay, so I need to count how many approvals there are in order for motion to pass. Is that how that works?
I think you're missing one person.
We got a
Who?
lot of abstentions.
You're
I don't know what's
missing
gonna
people.
happen.
I'm missing
Jake Wilson.
Andrew,
Oh.
Andrew Leosa. I didn't hear. Is he around?
Yeah, my name wasn't called.
What's your name?
Jake Wilson, Helene Wilson wasn't called.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. That's why I got confused. I didn't know what was going on. So wait, okay, so then I'm gonna put you present. Okay, so approve.
Sorry to interrupt, Andrew. I was disconnected and
Wait.
I just got back on.
So don't interrupt, just wait your turn.
Andrew, give me a second. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Andrew, hold on one second.
One moment.
Helene, wait, hold on,
Yes,
Samantha.
I approve.
Samantha,
I approve.
Helene approves. Can you
Okay.
note?
Yes, I will surely do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew,
Andrew Leosa approves the motion.
thank you. Anyone else that was called and did not respond? Okay.
Did we
Samantha?
get Jake? I'm sorry, did we get Jake?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Just
Yes, thank you.
Samantha, can you tally for us, please?
I'm counting. Give me a second. Hold on,
Thank
hold
you.
on. Give me patience. One. They have about 20 approves.
No, it cannot be about, Samantha. You have to give me the exact numbers.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can we move on to the next thing while I count? Is that possible, or you guys
No.
have to wait?
No, unfortunately, can.
All right.
We'll take your time. Just count them one by one.
I'm just saying, is there an easier way? Because the thing is, I'm trying to figure out how to filter this without messing up, but it's not
No,
working.
don't filter because it's gonna throw you off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, all right, well, okay. 1, 3.
Hey, you can use your fingers.
I'm using my mouse.
You can also share the screen, Samantha, if you feel, just for full transparency.
I have no problems doing that, and if you guys want to count with me, please do. I am so.
Put it up, put it up.
I'm putting it up right now. I'm all good with that. Let's start from the top, okay? You guys ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you watching with me? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You guys saw that, right?
Yes.
All right, you want me to count the abstains?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. You saw 4, right?
Yes.
5. You saw 5, right?
Yes.
So 20 votes yes.
And
5.
5 abstentions.
Motion passes.
Motion passes.
Yay!
Congratulations, Carla.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Carla.
Congratulations,
ma'am.
Thank you.
And the
Good
entire,
job, committee.
thank you.
Congratulations, Carla.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Kenny.
And thank you all the committee and thank board members
Congratulations.
for your, all your comments. All well taken. Thank you.
Okay.
Goes to show people are awake.
1 second. Okay, wait, everyone give me 1 second. Everyone give me 1 second, because we still have something up. We still have a little bit on our agenda. Toby, you still had your hand up. Is that from before or is that from now?
I will take my hand down.
Thank you.
I'm
Lowell?
For legal reasons, you have to make sure that all the votes have to match the number of people present.
Correct.
And do we do that?
Yes, that's why she showed the screen. All of the attendance is the first. This is no different. The attendance is the first column, which shows everyone who's present. The second column would have been for the minutes, which we did not have. And the third column would be for the motions. This is the way it's been done. This is the way I've done it in the last 5 years.
I know, but just to make sure. So
yes, that's why she shared the screen for full transparency. It is recorded. This is being recorded. It is in black and white. There is no changes to anything.
Okay, fine. We're good. I just want to make sure we're good.
100%.
Thank you.
Jean?
Just quickly, I think at the beginning when she did the attendance, she said there were 22 members. So double check that what she said, because people might have signed in after the fact.
That's why we did it again. That's why I asked her at the very beginning. When this video is done, anyone can go back.
Yes.
After the incident that happened, I had her call out again those people that did not answer, and then those that joined in were collected and were added present.
Okay, because I think what happened is in the first recording, she said 22.
Yeah, she did. And then what ended up happening was that more people kept joining in because of the issue that we had. And I had her read back those names that did not hear their name,
I get that part. I get that part. What I'm basically saying is she needs to give the complete total, because in the recording, it only says 22. People came in after the fact because we were having issues. So she needs to give what was the full count, because it's not really going to sound matching with the people who approved and the abstainees. So we need to have what was the complete count of all of the board members present, period. Just put the number in the
it will be done, and this all gets tallied up and goes in our record and goes to the BP's office. So all attendees, the match, the video, all goes together for record with the BP's office.
No, I know it's going to get filed.
Jahira, what she's saying is that you need to voice the number of people in attendance again.
Okay, so we can do that.
Because the recording only
Doesn't
states
match at the end.
20.
That's why I'm saying
The
that.
recording only states 22. It was never said that there were 25 people in attendance.
Right, that's what I'm saying to you.
Okay,
It's
so
gotta
the-
match. Yeah.
Samantha, can you read out how many people are present in our attendance sheet, please?
Can you guys go through I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask for you all to count with me, okay? All right, so Leoris was present. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So do our numbers match up in terms of
No,
the amount
No.
who approve and the amount abstain?
we have 25 total who voted and we have 27.
Leoris,
But ladies was, right.
Leoris left because he
Right.
had to go back to class.
My hand was up. I'd like to speak. Excuse me.
Yes, go
So,
ahead, Andrew.
Okay, if you're a member of a group, okay, they take attendance. Let's say at the time of attendance, there are 50 people. Later on in the meeting, a vote is taken. Of those 50 people, I don't know, maybe 20 people left, whatever. The vote is taken by the members present.
That's correct.
And the majority of voting members is what matters.
Right.
So just to clarify that.
Very good.
No, we were just trying to make sure that the count was correct. Now that
doesn't
she's
have to match.
recounted, she had 27 originally who were present. Larice left, 22 approved, and 4 abstained. So the count is correct now.
No, there was 20.
That's what we had to have on file.
20
We had
approved.
27 who were originally there after all of the mishigash. Then 1 person left. Then when we took the vote for the district manager, 22 approved, 4 abstained, that's 26. So your count is now correct. That's what we
It's
had to
only
do.
20, there's only 20 yeses.
There's only 20
I thought it was 22.
No, 20.
20?
20.
And 4 abstains?
And
So
5
that's 24. So
Oh.
there's somebody else that did not vote.
And 5
Mm-mm.
abstentions.
No.
5 abstentions.
Is it 4 or 5?
Do you guys want me to to count again?
No, only count the abstentions. You know that there are 20.
There's 1 abstained. 2 abstain, 3 abstain, 4 abstain, 5 abstain, 6 abstain.
Okay, so that's now your count is correct.
Okay, 26. Okay.
Thank you, Samantha.
Anytime. Okay, may I stop sharing?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie, we'll be back at it in motion 2, right?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So motion passes. Congratulations, Carla. You are now Bronx Community Board 7 District Manager.
Okay.
Thank you all, and thank you for your vote of confidence. I will not let you down.
We look forward to continuing to working with you and allowing our board to grow to a bigger and better Bronx Community Board 7. Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you.
moving
And
along.
and I'm
along.
open to any feedback. You can email me, you can text me anytime. I am always looking forward to improve in any way, and I'm open to constructive criticism as well.
Great, thank you. I'm going to move along. Barbara, we have a
Okay.
motions from Parks.
Yes. Do we have the motion summary to put up? Otherwise, I'll read what the motion is. The committee recommends the raising of a pride flag during the month of June somewhere in Bronx Community Board 7's district. We received a request from AJ to place a pride flag on the World War I monument on Marshall Parkway. It was felt that the monument was there to honor the war dead with no concern regarding anybody's race, religion, cultural background, or sexual orientation. We also felt that if we said yes to that particular location, it would result in other groups and organizations wanting to raise their flag. So we felt that the primary goal of the monument is to honor the war dead, but we were not opposed to finding another site for a pride flag. So the motion in itself would mean practically that we purchase as a board a pride flag and find a spot within our district every June to raise that flag. If you look at the motion summary, one of the reasons that AJ wanted the flag raised was to honor a Ronald Jacobowitz who lived in the community and did a lot for LGBTQ rights. The city has placed a secondary street renaming at the corner of Kossuth and Marshall Parkway North in his honor. So the feeling is if we could find a spot fairly close to where he lived, it would be great. Do we have a second for the motion?
Barbara, I second the motion.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions or whatever?
I'm sorry, I didn't raise my hand.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so I agree with you, Barbara. That would be the proper place to put it.
Okay. There is a playground a block away from that corner. So if there's a flagpole there, perhaps we could get the Parks Department to give us their approval for that site. If not, we will find another site. Any other questions? Lowell, do you have a question? Yeah. In the motion, Yes. I'm a technical type person. Shouldn't it be Mr. AJ with his last name listed? Why would we instead? Because you just said AJ. He brought the concern to us, but we didn't list his name in the motion per se. Okay, because you said AJ, and I just want to say if he's presented it, but it's not in the minutes of the motion itself, then
No,
his name
no.
is not listed.
No.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Not. Okay, any other concerns?
Jean?
Yeah, you said that we can't put the flag at the memorial, the World War I memorial, because it might give rise to other groups wanting to put flags there.
Well,
I'm sort of confused about that.
The main reason was that we felt the memorial was there to honor the war dead. And we never they never had any concerns about race, religion, sexual orientation. It was for all the war dead.
Okay.
And the feeling was that if we say yes to one group, we may open a can of worms in the future to other groups who may, for other reasons, want to raise a flag at that spot. So we're not opposed to raising the flag. We just felt that we should find a different site.
Are we not making an assumption when we said it was just for World War I veterans and it was just about their service? We don't know what their orientation might have been when they were serving. Of course, they couldn't have said anything back in that day because they could barely say anything in the present day. So I'm just kind of a little off on why we can't put the flag there. I hear what your explanation is, but I don't know if I think I can't agree with that.
Okay. All right,
So
Alfred,
saying,
you
well,
have your
look
hand
for a
up.
spot, but where would the spot be? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, we have to find a spot. the committee felt it would be nice to do it close to where the street renaming is, where the gentleman lived. So we would have to find a spot within the community board. All right, Alfred, your hand is up.
Yeah, I'm a person like a lot of us here on the board of age. And I come from an age when they frowned on gay rights. But I'm wise enough to shut my mouth and listen. And I do know this, in the army, I know for a fact, there were gay soldiers and they died fighting for this country. And I understand a lot of bigotry that we have because I come from an age of Black people that were suffering because of the color of our skin. And now I see individuals playing the game like, put that over there. We love them, they're all right, but don't put that flag over here. But you know what? Black, blue, gay, whatever should be putting their flag where the soldiers died for this United States of America. That's all I got to say.
Okay, and again, the only answer I could give to you, then we have to be open to placing a flag for different cultural groups who died, et cetera, at the same monument. All right, Betty?
I disagree. I don't think we're going to see groups clamoring to have a Puerto Rican flag or a Dominican flag. I don't think that's LGBTQ. This transcends race. This has to do with the type of discrimination that soldiers who are gay, lesbian encountered and were never able to voice who they were, be who they are, but they died for our country. So I think I disagree. I really think the flag should be at that memorial because it needs to be prominent. It doesn't have to stay up, for the entire time. I mean, it can come down if that's an issue, if that's okay. For Pride Month, it could go up and it can come down, be taken down respectfully and then put up again during Pride Month. But I think that it should be there. That's the fitting place, even though the individual that's cited has a street named after him. This goes beyond him. This is beyond him. This has to do with all the soldiers who had to suffer in silence that way.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to Andrew.
Yeah, it's a comment about process and procedure. The motion is what the motion is. Why is the full board discussing the issue of location that's not part of the motion? We should allow this board to allow our committees to do the work. And if people want to partake in making that decision, they could attend the Parks Committee where they'll hash out where to put the flag. But that's not what the motion's about. And we shouldn't be spending the time at 9:36 p.m. discussing location. That's not what the motion is. Please read the motion again. Thank you.
Okay, good point, Andrew. Helene, go ahead.
Well, after what Andrew said, I don't know that my question was, I do think that we should have the flag at the monument. And I don't think that would be an issue, but that is not what the motion says. So, I do feel that it's putting it anywhere else in a playground or whatnot is really somewhat disrespectful to the issue. That's my personal feeling, that I don't think we need to worry about other groups. Maybe it needs to be readdressed and maybe we need to rewrite the motion, but that's how I feel. Thank you.
All right, any other questions before we go to a vote? All right.
Am I allowed to speak or?
No, not at this part of the meeting. You were only allowed at the general meeting to speak in the public session.
Do we get the text of the motion?
All right, I'll repeat the motion. The committee recommends the raising of a pride flag during the month of June somewhere in Bronx Community Board 7's district.
And that could theoretically be at the location that,
We're not mentioning a location. The location mentioned is Community Board 7.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
No, so Barbara, can we adjust the motion to say that the flag can go there? That's why I'm kind of off with it too. Can we
Well,
not redo the
You
motion?
have to turn the motion down and
Okay, we'll
we
turn
would
the
have to
motion
bring
down.
it back to committee or whatever. At this point.
So we can turn it down. It can go back to committee. So we can say, put the flag.
But we
where
won't get it done for
the
Pride
is.
Month.
Right,
Yes.
but we're not gonna probably get it done for Pride Month anyway, because it's what, a month away, 6 weeks away. And we have to get permission and we have to get the flag and whatever. So
So
it
if
might
we-
be for next year.
So
Funny
if
how
we-
that works.
If we approve the motion as it's written,
Right,
can we still not put the flag there?
Yes.
That's basically what I think we're concerned about.
we didn't list the place at this point, so, you know, if
So
somebody.
that could be the place, even though
It
it's not.
could be, it could be an option, yes.
Okay, as long as it could be.
But
an
of
option,
course, you
and it-
realize we would have to get permission, of course, from the agency involved, which is the Parks Department.
Okay, so we,
that might take a little time, but it's still an option, Jean.
okay, as long as
Okay.
we can put the flag, even though it doesn't specifically state in the motion, and then we can put it wherever we want, and we decide we want to put it there.
Right, and you get
Shouldn't
the
be a problem.
approval from the board, so.
Then we would go back to
Right,
the Parks Department, and then they would have to sign off.
right,
Okay.
okay. All right, can we have a roll call for the vote?
Right, Betty Arce.
Betty Arce approves the motion.
Sorry. Thank you. Jahida.
Tahira Arias approves the motion.
Emanuela Samoa.
Emmanuel approved the motion.
Thank you. Eric.
Eric Asensio approves the motion.
Thank you. Michelle Avila.
Avila approves the motion.
Did you say approve?
Yes.
Thank you. Toby Buford.
Toby Buford approves the motion.
Mirna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon abstains.
No, stands, okay.
Okay, Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez approves.
Alfred Grant.
Alfred Grant approves.
Lowell Green.
Lowell Green approves the motion.
Helene Carmen Kanowski.
Helene Hartman Kadowski approves.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. Jean Hill.
Jean Hill approves the motion.
Thank you. Mabar Jewel. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Mabar Jewel. Mabar Jewel. Mabar Jewel. Andrew Leosa.
Andrew Leosa approves the motion.
Thank you. Rosalie Leslie. Rosalie Leslie. Rosalie Leslie. Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry abstained.
Thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos abstains.
Okay. Helene Red. Helene Red. Okay. Chad Royer.
Arlene Red, no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Chad Royer.
Samantha?
Wait, Samantha, no, it's no. She said no.
No.
Oh, no. What does that mean?
No.
No means no, and abstain means that you don't
You're not
approve.
voting.
You're not voting. Got you. Okay. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer votes yes.
Yes.
Approves, he approves the motion.
Okay. Why y'all?
Oh,
confused?
sorry, Samantha approves.
Why y'all?
Sorry.
It's 9:42, y'all. Come on. Victor Saldana.
Victor Salani approve.
Okay, Maharani.
Maharani approves.
Okay. Carlos Sosa.
Carlos Sosa approves.
Thank you. I approve. I, Samantha, approve. Barbara?
Barbara Stranzer approves.
Thank you. Oh, Gwendolyn. Adeline Walker Santiago.
Adeline Walker Santiago approves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Jake? Jake Wilson, Helene Wilson? Jake Wilson, Helene Wilson? Going once, going twice. All right. You guys gonna count with me? Okay, we're going on approves, okay?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19. 19, y'all, for approve. All right. Abstain, 1. Two, 3. 3 abstains? Did I do that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got 1 no.
Correct.
Okay,
Motion passes.
okay. Thank you for doing the math. I will stop sharing.
Thank you, Samantha.
Okay.
I have a question from a parliamentary point of view. Is there any way when we're taking a vote and you see they have been present for other votes, is there any way that we know they left the floor?
That's how their
Anything
names are,
like that?
that's why their names are called. If they answer, they answer. If you don't, we move on. There's no,
Okay,
this is why there's a roll call. This is why your name is called and your answers are either when it's done, in attendance, present. And if there's motions, it's approve, no, or abstain.
Right, but if, I'm not explaining it right. If they have voted for, they're marked, at some point they're marked present.
Yeah.
They vote for motion 1 and then motion 2, there's nothing.
That's
Is there
their
any
choice.
way
No, that's a
that we
choice.
can indicate? No, but they're no longer in the hall. They have left the meeting.
We cannot.
Do we
cannot
need to
mark-
do that?
We cannot mark, I have not, when I did the secretary's job, if I called your name and you did not answer, whatever it was, if you were absent, it was absent and your motion vote stayed blank because there was nothing for me to indicate that you were there to say yes or no, deny, abstain. So it stays blank because you are marked absent. There's nothing else afterwards.
No, but if you're marked present.
If you're marked present and you vote on one motion and you say whatever your decision is, that's fine. If you decide not to vote on the next one or whatever you want to do, that's your choice.
My hand was up. Can I jump in for a second? There seems
Yes,
to be some
Andrew.
confusion. Okay, so as a member, you have 4 choices when a motion comes up. Can approve a motion, cannot approve a motion, say no. You can abstain, or you just don't vote. So you have 4 choices. The motion passes when there's a majority approval. That's the way it works. If somebody gets up and they're not able to vote, they didn't vote. 4 choices. Think of it that way. Thank you.
Is that clear though?
Okay.
Okay. Toby, you have your hand up, followed by Adeline. I don't know if you still have, if that's from before, and followed by Chad.
It was from before. I was going to bring up the same thing that was brought up.
Thank
We
you.
said somewhere in, and somewhere in can be the monument.
Thank you. Chad?
I wanted to raise the question, if you still had the majority of yes, that was actually less than the quorum amount. Is
Well,
that what Lowell, was that what she was referencing?
Something like that.
If you had, so I guess the question is, folks are present, right? The majority say yes, but the majority of the yes don't make up the majority of those present.
Andrew, you want to answer this?
It's the majority of the voting members. The people are voting.
As long as
It
we
works.
retain that quorum.
I think she established the
Look, you know,
quorum was
Sorry, wait, he's
19 at the
he's answering.
beginning.
He's answering. Andrew?
people aren't always available to vote. When the meeting starts, you take attendance. You can now do the business of the board. Somebody can, I hate to be graphic, but somebody could drop dead. It doesn't mean that the business of the board has to stop because they weren't able to vote. People don't, and they may choose not to vote. Think of our politicians when it's a controversial subject. They just won't vote. Unfortunately, that's what they do.
Okay, to clarify, quorum is just to establish that board business can start and take effect. Whether you decide to vote on a motion, that is a choice you make, regardless of anything else. Once quorum is met means business starts. You start to have dialogues of what the business is day to day. If motions come to the floor and you don't feel like voting, that is your right and your choice. Okay, so it's 9:50. We're moving on to committee reports. I'm just gonna ask that people keep it super, super short. Maybe just the next meeting date. I know everybody's minutes will be in and can be shared. If we want, we can go over them at the next meeting, if everybody's okay with that, because it is getting kind of late. Okay, so start off with Betty, environment sanitation.
Yeah, we met on April 4th. Next meeting will be May 2nd. Only one thing that I want to mention is that there is a, shoot, I'm sorry, let me just go to this real quick. It's Saturday, April 29th, there's a safe disposal event at Orchard Beach from 10 to 4. Bring all your stuff that you can't get rid of during regular garbage time, and there's a link as to the exact kinds of things that you can bring for this event. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Betty. Traffic and transportation, Edgar.
Meeting is May 4th.
Okay. Housing, land use, and economic development, Eric.
Our next meeting is May 9th, but I also sent an email in regards to that. If Michelle and Carla could answer back, I will appreciate that.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation and Cultural Affairs, Barbara.
Our next meeting is Wednesday, May 10th. We had a few visitors at our last meeting and it's all written up in my minutes.
Thank you. Public Safety and Quality of Life, Victor Saldana.
Good evening. We have a presentation on fire safety from FDNY this month, and we also have a report out from NYPD. And our next meeting will be the second Tuesday of the month in May. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle, Health and Human Services.
The Health and Human Services Committee met last week. We reviewed the agency responses to our budget and expense requests for this year. The committee discussed bringing more awareness to senior scam alerts and fraud alerts So we'll look into that for the upcoming months. Our next meeting is actually going to be on May 9th. Eric, the full committee confirmed that they can make that date. So we'll take that meeting date and the agenda will come out shortly before the meeting. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. So
Chad,
therefore,
are
our
you
next,
here?
housing meeting will be May 16th.
May 16th. You guys are swapping dates, right?
15th,
What it
yes.
is. Okay, great. Okay, I'm sorry, Veterans
And
Affairs.
then I'm sorry, one last thing, Jahara. We are expecting to host the Fordham Landing South project on that date.
Fordham Landing. This will be on the 16th, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Veterans Affairs, Chad.
Yes, so our next meeting is going to be May 17th, 2023. We have some events coming up. The Bronx Victory Memorial flagging event, which would be the first in the springtime. That will be May 13th at 11 a.m. We're going to have the Woodlawn Cemetery flagging 4 of the grave sites. That will be Wednesday, May 24th. And the Veterans Resource Fair at the Fordham Library on June 3rd, 2023. That is on a Saturday.
Thank you. Lourdes is not here, but anyone from Education's library? Samantha?
Huh? What happened?
Are you on the Education Committee?
No, I'm public
Oh,
safety.
sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Okay, I guess we'll Lourdes later on. Okay, Myrna, bylaws?
Yeah, well, as our chair said, the bylaws should be emailed to everybody, and we're going to be voting next month. It's my understanding.
I have a question. I saw that we have a meeting tomorrow, bylaws?
Yeah, we don't have a meeting tomorrow.
Okay, I wasn't sure what. that
Yeah,
was.
I saw that too, so.
Okay, all
That
right.
was just on the calendar, I guess, as a
Right.
date in case we didn't get through them the last time. Okay, Andrew, your hand is up. Andrew?
Yeah, my committee, usually we go alphabetical, but
Sorry.
you guys ready for my? The Budget Personnel Ethics Committee is scheduled to meet this Thursday by Zoom at 6:30 p.m. We will be discussing the internal board budget, which is the fiscal year July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, not to be confused with the annual capital and expense budget priorities that we do. So if you're interested in the internal board budget, please attend. Thank you. End of the report.
Thank you, Andrew. I was getting to you next. I'm sorry, I'm going by the calendar here. Okay, with that being said, we've concluded all board business. Okay, now I think open up
One
for.
quick question before we leave, because everybody can't make the budget meeting on Thursday. Is that going to be posted out? Because some of us are going to be at the 52nd precinct meeting. So how can we get the information? I want to make sure that everybody hears it, because I haven't heard much about the budget and what monies we've had. So how can we catch up with that information?
Well, I believe we're all, it's on Zoom. It has to be recorded. We can have the link sent over to you.
It'll
Okay,
be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube, but if anyone ever wants, a link, we can send it to you.
Yeah, I would say send it, because the last time I went to look at YouTube, sometimes it takes weeks before these things come up. So if you could forward that to me, after the meeting, I would really appreciate it.
Okay, we will do so. And anyone who wants a copy of the, who wants a link, just send us an email, Carla and Jade, until Jade is with us. We'll send it over to you for you guys to review. Okay.
Why don't you just send it to everybody?
I'm sorry?
Should send the link to everyone. I don't think you need to inundate the staff with requests. Just send it out to everybody then. It's important. Everybody's interested. Send
Well,
it.
it's also good to keep track as to who's made requests. So it's also an internal thing, but we will send it out. Chad?
I wish I could make that meeting because I did have a question that I would like to ask. Perhaps I can email it in advance.
You can do that as well. If anybody has any questions, you can always email in advance. And I know that Andrew's diligent in answering anybody's questions with regards to the budget.
Okay.
Hello, Yahara, this is Adeline.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Because I'm trying to get on, I can't get on. For the Education Committee, I just wanted everybody to know that something came up that was really new. ImaginationLibrary.com. If you go on there, you can get free books mailed to any child up to age 5. You put your zip code and our area is covered. And they'll get books, children can get books for free, up to 60 books a year mailed to their home. ImaginationLibrary.com.
Thank you. Great.
That's very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Dolly Parton's nonprofit, Imagination Library?
Yes, it's nonprofit. Dolly Parton put it together, and you just go to imaginationlibrary.com, put your zip code, the age of the child, and they'll mail the child the books. Once a week, a new book.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't forget the Yankee Scholarship application. Tell the teens about it, the high schools about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So with that being said, any more questions, any more comments? Going once, going twice. Can I get a motion to close board business?
I move to adjourn the meeting tonight.
Thank you, Chad.
Seconded.
1 second.
Seconded.
Okay, thank you.
Third,
Okay. With that being said, then